So have we cleaned everything up regarding the transfer portal, or is there anybody else of note to mention?
Well, Cavazzi Smoke is probably the biggest name. They've had several receivers leave. Another one, Keaton Upshaw, tight end, who's has done some great things at UK in his career, but he's been a little injury prone and kind of got passed by the emergence of Josh Caddis and Jordan Dingle this year. So he's looking at the portal. Like I said, they've had several receivers. Chris Lewis is a guy who also left. Michael Drennan, we talked about before. I'm just kind of going through my list right here. Tate Crooms, Chauncey Magwood. Like I said, it's several receivers. And they do have one commitment so far. Tanner Bowles, who's an offensive lineman who was at Alabama. He is actually from Kentucky originally, from Bowling Green, and he's transferring back here into this program. Another name that's being tossed about, speaking of the Big Ten, is Graham Mertz from Wisconsin. Last week there was reports that he was going to sign with Kentucky. However, he was at Florida taking an official visit this weekend. So, and then another name that's come up is Ray Davis from Vanderbilt, who had a great game against Kentucky this year when Vandy broke that long losing streak against the Cats. He's another name that's popped up, on those recruiting circles on the transfer portal. Those are two names that are out there that could end up as Wildcats. I mean, I feel pretty good about Davis. Mertz, I'm not so sure about, and we'll see what happens with that one.
Got Kevin McGuffey here, of course, our buddy covering Kentucky college football, our resident bowl expert as well, on the Kentucky Wildcats as well, and last word on college football. So, Kevin, National Signing Day is coming up in just about a week and a half, and I see 15 hard commits for UK, and I see a 42 ranking nationally, according to 247 Sports. So any news on the horizon, anything that you expect to come in under the wire?
It's been kind of, there's not been a lot of, movement. Like I said, Bowles was the most recent commitment. And like I said, he's through the transfer portal, and they picked up, I'm trying to find Ardell Banks, who's a receiver out of Ohio. He's a guy they picked up just about a week ago. They've got a lot of guys that they're trying to get at this last trying to get in this last moment. I don't have a lot of the names in front of me right now, but like I said, everyone around the program feels this has been for whatever reason, you and I have talked about this before. This class hasn't been up to what Kentucky's done in the past, and a lot of the blame gets thrown at the athletic director, Mitch Barnhart, for not jumping on the NIL train. But those really close to the program, I was reading something today that they think Kentucky is going to be really, really, really active in the next week, and you're going to be maybe surprised at some of the names that pop up, and they think Kentucky could end up with another top 30 recruiting class. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, they've kind of cast a wide net on a lot of people, and we'll see what happens between now and next Wednesday, the 21st.
And then there's always a coaching transition that every team undergoes during the offseason and right after the regular season's over. So new running backs coach, special teams coordinator, and maybe some other changes forthcoming.
Right. So everyone, this started last week. The Liam Cohen coming back to Kentucky rumors. ESPN's insider Chris Mortensen kind of fueled it on last Friday when he said that it was pretty much a done deal. It was just a matter of when. Sean McVay came out later and said if he's going to leave, that it probably won't be till the end after the season's over. And of course, the Rams, won the Super Bowl last year and have had about as bad post Super Bowl season, I think, as a team could have. But it's for Kentucky fans, it's really exciting because you think about what they were last year, a top 50 offense, which has never happened under Stoops. And this year they were down back in the 100s, kind of even struggling running the ball. And I think a lot of that, the offensive line struggled this year. I think that had a lot to do with it. I think Chris Rodriguez missing the first 4 games due to suspension had a lot to do with it. But all signs are pointing towards Liam Cohen coming back here as the offensive coordinator. And I think he's probably got, if I were a betting man, I would say he's probably got a couple of guys already, he's already thinking about as far as like quarterbacks and maybe even a running back with Barry and Brown and Dane Key at those 2 freshman star wide receivers. They've got 2 of the best receivers in Kentucky, honestly, has probably ever had. And you want to do everything you can to keep those 2 guys happy because you don't want them, you don't want them to transfer like a lot of these other guys have. And then as you're mentioning, just some breaking news, Jay Boulware is going to be the new special teams and running back coach, replacing John Settle. Quite frankly, the coaching staff just wasn't very happy with this. If we're being honest, is more really happy with his job performance, and also on the recruiting trail, didn't seem like they were getting a whole lot from him. So Boulware worked with Mike Stoops at Oklahoma for many years, so that's kind of the connection there. He had previously been at Texas, and then when Tom Herman came on, he wasn't retained, and then he most recently been working with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and former Cat Benny Snell is there. So again, another hopefully a very exciting hire for Stoops and for the staff. And you bring back Cohen and all the good things they did last year. Get a top quarterback. I think that's Kentucky's. No offense to the guys they have right now, but getting somebody out of the portal is probably paramount. Number one on the checklist of things to do for this off season.
Yes, Kentucky 107th in total offense this season, number 87 in yards per play. So that sheds a little bit more light on them not being quite as deplorable, but because they're a little bit more effective yards per play, but still number 87 in the country is not anything to write home about. Kevin McGuffey, last word on college football, breaking down Kentucky football for us. Is there anything we missed, Kevin?
I think that about covers it. Like I said, they got the coaching changes, the one coaching change, potential coaching change. You've got the guys in the transfer portal, Levis and Rodriguez not playing in the bowl game. Like I said, I still think just because it's Kentucky and it's a bowl game, it'll still be exciting in some way. So we'll see what happens coming up on the